All right guys, welcome back to Just Driven. Today's video is going to be an interior update on the Toretto Charger. We're going to make this video pretty quick. We want to bring you guys up to speed. There's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and we're going to do that right now. So the last time you guys saw this car, it was leaving our yard and we were bringing it over here to Richard's place to button up the interior and to really dial in the dashboard assembly, the center console assembly, and there's a few little modifications that we have to do to the radiator, and those are next in line. You know, Richard has lots of other projects going on here, so he was able to fit us in. As you guys know, the original Toretto Charger in the first movie, very little of the interior was shown. I mean, literally you have to freeze frame to get just little corner sections of what the interior looked like. And from the very beginning, I said I wanted to build a screen accurate car. I think we've accomplished that from the exterior, but as far as the interior goes, we have been able to take our own personal little liberties on what we think that interior should have looked like, or what it would have looked like had the studio focused more effort on showing off the interior. Richard spent an enormous amount of time and effort. He's got this crazy shop with all this amazing equipment. He's a very talented individual in terms of coming up with some work that just really fits the vintage of this car. In doing that, we decided, okay, since there was only one small, short little scene that's showing 4 gauges, we just didn't feel like those 4 gauges fit well in the car, so we rearranged those gauges slightly. We wanted the dash to flow better since we're going to be driving this car to different events and showing it off, and we're going to be enjoying this thing. We want it to suit our needs as much as we want it to look like the car that was used in the film. Those liberties were taken. I think we kind of killed it, and I know Richard is really excited about it. I know everybody that's looked at it and who's laid eyes on it has said the same thing. You know, come check it out. I think you guys are going to like it. We wanted to kind of stay true to what the car would have been built like 23 years ago. This is the kind of quality of work that was going into these builds back in the day. A center console was built, fully customized, just suits this car extremely well. If you take a quick look at the door cards, so this is all made out of aluminum, the rear door cards as well. The entire interior door panel assembly does in fact kind of mimic what the original movie car showed, that being all aluminum door panels. He bead rolled all of the door panels to actually look like door cards. And we didn't just want a flat aluminum panel, we wanted to give it a little bit of depth and a three-dimensional feel. And that's why he went in and put all these really unique bead rolls into this sheet aluminum. And then he carried it over into the center console as well, and he bead rolled the entire center console. And if you'll notice, this is a skeletal console that was built out of tubing, and then the actual aluminum sheet metal that has then been bead rolled and installed over the tubes. It just suits this car so well. The next step, a big focus here in the coming days, is how we're going to do the back seat delete setup. There's going to be a series of shelves being made. All of that will also be made out of aluminum, bead rolled to match the rest of the cards. We're going to have NOS bottles installed in the back of this as well. A few little details that we're going to add. We are going to be adding a steering brake. We're going to install a few more lights, but the goal is for us to enjoy this car, take it out to events, and actually feel like it's a car that we can have fun with. Some of the things that we're going to be doing is we're adding power windows to this car simply because we don't have a lot of room to roll the windows up and down. The window cranks are kind of in the way of the roll cage that Richard built, and so it just made sense for us to install electric window motors in all 4 of the windows, and they're going to be a lever switch, so it'll actually have a door crank, but you just move it slightly down for down and slightly up, and it rolls all the way up, and that'll be the case for all 4 windows. That side to this side, and then when you're looking through the back window, you see what I'm saying, it'll match, because you did an amazing job on the bottom of the glove box to the bottom of this. It's freaking dead on. I mean, they're perfect. It was awesome. So now if we can just kind of
follow that line across.
That way when you're standing back there looking at it, it'll...
Yeah,
I love the way it looks, dude. This is so much better than I expected, considering what the movie car looked like, you know?
No, people like it a lot.
Yeah, it's freaking good. It looks really sharp. We are getting really close to the end game here on this car before we do our final prep before we fire it. One of the last things that Richard has to do is he has to make some modifications to our radiator. That's going to be the next big step. You know, some of you have asked, are we going to have a passenger seat delete in this, because the movie car didn't have one. It's not very convenient to just make this a one-seater, especially if there's people that want to go out for a ride. So yes, of course, we're going to put a passenger seat in the car, and if we really want to go down that path of saying, well, it's not exactly the same, we'll just take the passenger seat out. So tell us what you think. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We really appreciate all of the support, and we like to get involved with all of you guys that subscribe to our channel. So thank you. And I can't wait to see this thing fire. It's coming soon.